And now for the moment you have all been waiting for. Let's discuss this $4.5 trillion asset manager, Fidelity, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is the second largest asset manager in the world, next to BlackRock, that controls over $10 trillion in assets under management. They're predicting, their head of global macro, Jurrien Timmer, is predicting that the Bitcoin price hit $1 billion per coin. So let's break this down, shall we? And then we'll dive into our live Q&A. Here we go. Fidelity's prediction for Bitcoin. We have Jurrien Timmer, director of global macro at Fidelity, put forth the notion that Bitcoin, the king crypto, has the potential to reach a value of $1 billion per BTC in roughly 2 decades, specifically around the year 2038. So there you have it. Right now we're in 2023, so what is that? Roughly like 15 years out. To supply the forecast, Timmer employed a combo of models and charts with particular focus on the stock-to-flow model and his own demand model. These analytic tools form the foundation for his primary prediction. And speaking of stock-to-flow, massive shout out to Plan B, creator of the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model. Now, he believes, along with the stock-to-flow, the data, which doesn't lie, that the Bitcoin price is subject to hit between $100,000 and $1 million after the halving in 2024. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the stock-to-flow prediction. And now we'll get back to this analysis from Jurrien Timmer of Fidelity. The above demand model employs Metcalfe's law, and according to the numbers of its users grows linearly. The network's value or interference, the Bitcoin price grows geometrically. This means that the utility of the adoption of Bitcoin are expected to grow more rapidly compared to its network of users, exchanges, ATMs, and participating retailers. Therefore, this model predicted that the Bitcoin price will reach $1 million, which is 7 figures by the year 2030. Now, I also like to throw out there, we also have Kathy Wood of ARK Invest predicting a $1 million Bitcoin price by the year 2030. In fact, if you've been following my show, then you know her bear case scenario is over $250,000 per BTC in 2030. Her base case is over $600,000, and her bullish case is $1.48 million per BTC. There's other big analysts and financial institutions as well, just as bullish as Kathy Wood. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that there's others in agreement with Jurrien Timmer thus far on this Bitcoin price prediction. So yeah, in contrast, Timmer's stock-to-flow supply model noted the event of significant price surges during each halving event. Consequently, when considering this model in conjunction with the other factors, it foresees a Bitcoin price range of $1 million to $10 million for Bitcoin by the year 2030. Timmer's demand model is more inclined towards reflecting the bottom of the Bitcoin price, but on the other hand, the stock-to-flow model seems to provide a better approximation for the peak of Bitcoin. However, it's worth noting that the disparity between these two models widens significantly beyond the year 2030, which is where things get interesting. The reason behind this gap is expected to be the changing value of the dollar, as many economists are anticipating the crash of the dollar, in which Jurrien Timmer is as well. So Timmer proposes that the value of the dollar undergoes fluctuations over time when compared to other traditional assets. For instance, if just $1 was invested into the stocks during the 18th century, its present-day value would be roughly $4 billion. You mean to tell me a dollar invested into stocks in the 18th century is now worth $4 billion? That tells you everything you need to know about fiat currency, folks. Now, similarly, Timmer implied that if $1 million was invested today, it can grow to $1 billion in just a span of 20 years. This further revealed that the purchasing power of the dollar has significantly reduced due to factors like inflation and depreciation. And let's not forget, money printer continue to go. Just saying. Thus, Timmer's statement implied that keeping a fixed amount of dollars for many years may lead to a reduced purchasing power due to the assets changing value. And over the last few years, an increasing number of companies are taking over the $1 trillion market cap. And as a result, it's foreseeable that in the next 2 decades, the concept of a $1 trillion valuation will become more common. Yes, right. So much that individuals themselves could be worth $1 trillion or even more. The scale of numbers may even reach the quadrillion range. Like, whoa. So is this milestone still achievable for Bitcoin is the $1 million question. So despite Bitcoin's historical growth, it had recently faced a significant setback. Bitcoin's network activity had diminished, and it had fallen behind in comparison to Cardano's network. For example, the number of active addresses in the Bitcoin market had experienced a notable decline when compared to the levels seen in 2021. But we also got to note that we're currently in a bear market. Past couple of years, we hit the cycle peak back in 2021 and we soared. Remember COVID era? Bitcoin dumped all the way down to like $3,500 range. And within a year, by the end of the fourth quarter of 2021, we hit that all-time high, which is the current high of $69,000. So this just goes to show you how fast Bitcoin can climb during a bull market. And we know the past couple of years have been bearish as all hell, right? Especially 2022. We had the collapse of Terra Luna. We had the collapse of FTX being the second largest crypto exchange at the time. There was mass contagion. Everything was impacted. We dropped to a new cycle low of 15,700. But I think the bottom is past us. What's your thoughts, chat? Do let me know in the comments so I can read those out loud here in a little bit. But let's finish up this prediction. The higher network activity, like increased transaction volume or active addresses, is viewed as a positive indicator for the growing adoption for Bitcoin. This can create a sense of confidence amongst investors, potentially leading to the rise in demand and positive effect on the price action. And although Timmer's prediction may be considered far-fetched and lacks empirical evidence, it doesn't completely dismiss the possibility of Bitcoin reaching such levels. The concept of de-dollarization has gained stature, shifting global attention towards alternative currencies. The shift in focus is expected to drive the demand for assets like gold and crypto, such as Bitcoin. And with BRICS pushing for the fall of the dollar, the BRICS currency and Bitcoin are expected to garner continued momentum. So there you have it, fam. What are your thoughts surrounding this whopping $1 billion price prediction for the King Crypto by the year 2038? Do you think it's realistic? And before we even got to that billion prediction, what about $1 million by the year 2030? Do you think this is realistic? Do you think this is a pipe dream? Do you think this is conservative? What's your honest thoughts? And where do you feel the dollar is likely to go over the course of the next few years? Do you think it will not even be in existence and will be replaced by the digital version, which is the CBDCs, central bank digital currencies that Congressman Tom Emmer and many others are warning you about? Let me know your honest thoughts and let's go dive into our live Q&A.